Now, new, live, and local, and every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Good morning once again from Studio B. Big rains tonight and possible big storms too. Paul has that in a moment. Another day, another new local radio show today at 5 p.m. A cancellation with no reason given. That's at the bottom of the hour. And the Save America Act, AI info, and the Fed's talking about that. Bill Hemmer remembers Woodstock at the end of today's show. Here we are, ready to go for another live broadcast from Studio B on the campus of Woof Boom Radio. We're WMUN. News talk, sports talk, community talk. Please tell a friend. We would like to grow the audience and help, share the wealth of information and a little bit of entertainment. It is not a joke show, though. In fact, we get very serious, especially when it turns out to be some weather-related information possibilities. That's why we employ a meteorologist. His name is Paul Poteet.
Good morning. There's a lot on the plate for Thursday. Been a few overnight showers that move out early in the morning for East Central Indiana. Then warm sunshine, 82 for the high today. Kind of breezy. Storms will fire, it looks like, sometime around 6 this evening. And for several hours, they could produce large hail, damaging wind gusts, tornadoes, and some heavy rainfall, maybe a couple of inches of rain. In addition, we're in a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. High tomorrow will only be 48 behind the system with morning clouds and some afternoon sunshine. Sunshine and 48 on Saturday. And by Sunday, partly sunny back up to 60 and 70s most of next week with some shower chances continuing. That's WMUN Muncie weather. And now, back to Steve.
All right. Thank you, Paul. I thought I heard you in the hallway doing the Here's Stevie earlier this morning. Perhaps I was just dreaming. Hey, it's early for me, too. Though it is 8:08 almost. It's pretty deep into the morning for all of our morning radio programs, hosted by great air talent, including but not limited to Jared Boomer, Jay Garrison, Brian Casey, and George and Zach. Those are our morning lineups on the Woof Boom Radio group. 6 formats, 1 mission. We use our voice to build and connect our community on WMUN and the rest of the Woof Boom Radio. Still gonna tease you with the information of a new program that launches this afternoon at 5 p.m. Ball State baseball fans should be paying close attention. That is closer to 8:22, give or take. Let's get on to our local news summary now, one of our features every day, because you need to know what the news is doing. We have that on all of our stations in East Central Indiana, and now for you on WMUN.
I drove up and my light was on and I went, wow, that jumped up really fast.
That's what Jennifer Mann told Wish TV when she got gas in downtown Indianapolis this week. It was over $4 a gallon. AAA spokesperson Christina Griffiths on why the price at the pump has soared this month.
We do typically see an increase in gas prices this time of year, so that's not abnormal to see at least some amount of an increase. And that's because this is the time of year that those refineries put some special additives into that summer blend gasoline.
Gas prices for Hoosiers were at an average of $2.77 a gallon a month ago. Jarrett Lewis, Network Indiana.
Is there still a chance that we could see a little snow before spring really settles in?
I'm Ryan Hedrick, and that's the question we brought to Chad Swain over at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
We can always get snow even in April.
Swain says not to worry. Nothing like that is showing up on the short-term forecast.
I forget how many years ago we had an Easter snow event with several inches of snow. Winter can't be ruled out yet. We'll have more warm days than cold ones.
He says the real thing to keep an eye out for is severe weather Thursday into Friday. Hail, damaging winds, and even a chance of tornadoes. Ryan Hedrick, Network Indiana.
Ball State students participated in a unique fundraiser last week. Star Press says members of the Sigma Nu fraternity and Phi Mu sorority, covered in protective trash bags, took whipped cream pies to the face to benefit the Animal Rescue Fund.
The Sweet 16 begins tonight in the NCAA tournament with 4 games on tap. First, at 7:10 Eastern, number 2 Purdue faces number 11 Texas. Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
Howard County deputies arrested an elderly Kokomo homeowner after a shooting left one person injured on Tuesday afternoon.
A deputy arrived within minutes to find an adult victim shot in the leg. The victim was treated on scene, then airlifted to a hospital. The suspect believed to have dementia and was peacefully taken into custody after negotiators spoke with him. Renuka Bachpai Network, Indiana.
It's Fan Appreciation Night for the Noblesville Boom. More info, their web is noblesvilleboom.com. NTN Drive Shaft is suing the Trump administration over tariffs. The Herald Bulletin says they're seeking a full refund of all tariffs paid under the policy recently struck down by the Supreme Court.
The California jury decided Meta and YouTube are negligent in the design of their platforms. They agreed with the plaintiff, who says the tech giants intentionally cause young users to become addicted to them. The jury awarded her $6 million in damages. The plaintiff is a 20-year-old who says her social media use from a young age led to her addiction to technology and worsened her anxiety and depression. In a statement, a spokesperson for Google said, quote, "We disagree with the verdict and plan to appeal this case."
Prevent Child Abuse Indiana starting a new Eyes on the Child campaign this April to mark National Child Abuse Prevention Month.
With over 20 million reports of suspected online exploitation nationwide last year, officials are urging parents to increase digital supervision. Johnette Cruz, Network Indiana.
The executive director, Zena Teague, told the Anderson Journal Morning Show she's looking for a diverse group of leaders.
And so that's going to be one of the big things that goes into it. How do we make sure we have representation?
The Leadership Academy of Madison County begins accepting applications for the class of 2026 next month.
The average price of gas in the state at $3.67 a gallon last week, 31 cents cheaper than what it is now. AAA spokesperson Christina Griffiths told Wish TV that it's not abnormal to see these prices this time of year, but there are other factors too.
That has been, a month ago since before the Iran conflict started.
As of Tuesday morning, AAA had Indiana at $3.97. Jarrett Lewis, Network Indiana.
The headliner for this year's Carb Day concert has been announced. Ryan Hedrick takes a look at the act you'll want to see.
Counting Crows will headline the 26th Miller Lite Carb Day concert. Ryan Hedrick, Network, Indiana.
The Jack Lutz Memorial Champions for Casa Golf Benefit is May 30 at Grandview Golf Course, hosted by the Noon Exchange Club of Anderson. There's a link to register or donate right now on our news page.
Thursday warms up to 80, but after sunset, a cold front rolls in, and that's when we could see some severe weather.
The cold front is what often is the trigger.
Chad Swain is part of a forecasting team at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
Usually with these strong cold fronts, you get a good surge of warm air. That is an important ingredient in severe weather, is warm, moist air.
Ryan Hedrick, Network, Indiana.
The registration deadline for the May 5 primary is April 6. If you're unsure whether you're currently registered to vote, you can check your status at indianavoters.com. Travelers at the Indy airport are seeing new faces at security checkpoints this week.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is now assisting TSA workers at airports across the country due to a congressional budget battle that has left TSA agents without pay. Federal officials say ICE personnel are only there to help with crowd control and will not be conducting immigration enforcement. Johnette Cruz, Network Indiana.
Purdue men's basketball back in the Sweet 16 and on Oldies 101 tonight. Pregame 6 p.m., tip 7:10 from San Jose, California. She's not afraid of artificial intelligence and provided some examples of how the technology is helping her on a daily basis in her day job.
You also can give it very specific questions, and it can tailor its answers to the very nuance of what you need to say. Maybe I need to email a manager versus a frontline staff. It'll tell me exactly, how to say that in a way that's maybe better received.
Community activist Kelly Kelly on Oldies 101's Anderson Talks.
Hours after the first game of the 2026 Major League Baseball season ended in San Francisco between the Giants and the Yankees, 22 more teams will take the field for their season openers today. New in the majors this year, ABS, Automated Ball Strike Challenge System. Jared Max, Fox News.
Ball State Baseball has a home series this weekend. Check for times on our social media and listen for broadcasts on our WMUN. More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com.
Right here from Studio B, I'm Steve Lindell as we continue to look ahead through the hour with the 9 a.m. start time for our weekly program This Week in Ball State Athletics. Mick Tidrow tells me he has special guests live and in the main studio, Building A, within the Wolf Boom Radio empire. We are looking far and wide on our streaming map. I do see Sister Sherry way left coast in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Sister Sherry. Los Angeles is listening, and a little further to the central part of the country, there's Mama in Minnesota, and Roger is likely listening too. Chicagoland seems to always be on. We love it. We see various and sundry clicks in the Indiana area. You can listen on 92.5 FM terrestrial radio in the immediate area, but however you listen is okay with us, just as long as you listen, because listening is good. We earlier saw Indianapolis, we saw Fishers, Indiana, and D.C. was clicked on too. Perhaps Washington, D.C. was clicked on because it's the president? I don't know. Anything's possible. It also could have been one of the handlers for our guest that was booked for 8:30 this morning that canceled with no reason given. Hold on. That story coming up closer to the bottom of the hour. At 8:16 now, we're in Studio B of the Wolf Boom Radio Group. Our main building, right over my right shoulder, houses lots of studios and great people that do the work behind the scenes and on the front lines. One of our featured stations, the big dog in this market, is WLBC. We've got the Jared Boomer host in the morning. I handle the morning report. The news is at 20 and 50 on that station every morning, plus lots of weather from Paul Poteet. Then Kim Morris launches right after that with what's called the Midday Show, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Gary Joseph, he's on from 3 until 8 p.m. every weekday with the WLBC Live Drive Home Show. He has a new feature launching on April 1st, No Fooling. He can tell you about that. And then at night, it's After Hours with Brian Casey, 8 to midnight. When I first got here, those many years ago, 33 of them, Brian was one of our staff members on WLBC, I think in that same day part at night. He has advanced at other places and back to our company for many years now. We're very grateful for his radio services, his talents and skills, and his audience too. We appreciate all of our staff. That's just some of the ones on the front lines in the Wolf Boom Radio Group. All right, hold on. In a moment, we'll preview the new show that will debut this afternoon at 5 p.m. on this radio station. That and more to come here on Delaware County Today from WMUN.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. You ever feel like running a business is just nonstop? Every day's game day? That's why going pro with Lenovo Pro just makes sense. You get real one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and gear that's built to help you stay ahead of the competition. So whether you're scaling up, hiring up, or just trying to keep up, go pro. Because when your tech works harder, your business does too. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. So sign up free today at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Start your day with Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal. The instant oatmeal ready to help you tackle whatever your day brings. Like wrangling your toddler into their car seat. That was fun. Coaching your 6th graders soccer team. Go girls! And carrying all the groceries in one trip. Whew. Try Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal, granola, and bars. Great taste and a good source of protein. Quaker, bring out the good.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell. Presented by Muncie Community School.
With the gigantic television on the back wall here of Studio B, I'm Steve Lindell. Thank you, Tom Campbell, voice of WMUN Radio, who is likely listening. He is always listening. He's always out there. We hope you are too. Tell a friend about this station. We work really hard to try to inform you about the day's happenings, who is talking about what and thinking about what. We talk about what people are talking about. We are hoping you will continue to talk about Ball State baseball. The new program will launch today at 5 p.m. for 5 consecutive special weekly programs hosted by none other than our sports director. The debut of the weekly show from YouTube channel Woof Boom Studio B also, and live on the radio here on WMUN this week in Ball State baseball. Here's a quick 1-minute preview of the big half-hour show made possible by Automatic Pool Covers.
And welcome into the first edition of Inside Ball State Baseball here on the Talk of Muncie WMUN. My name is Kurt Darling. Rob Fisher, kind enough to join us here for the first broadcast of the show here today.
Kind of a pioneers in this endeavor, but it's great to be here.
Special thanks to Dylan Budd, our executive producer as well. Proud to be joined by Rich Maloney, the head coach of the Ball State Cardinals.
Here we are at the brink of death, it looks like, in the 9th inning, down 5-3. 6-3, and lo and behold, we get the bases loaded, and we pinch hit Jack Backus, and Jack hits that first pitch out of the yard for a grand slam, and pandemonium went wild in the dugout. It was phenomenal.
Sponsored by AutomaticPoolCovers.com. It's going to be another 3-game series in MAC play here against the Ohio Bobcats.
Ohio's coming off a 2-game. They won their series this past weekend with Bowling Green.
Rob, a pleasure having you on the inaugural show of Inside Ball State Baseball.
Glad to be here. I enjoy it. Thanks.
Definitely. Again, you can catch it all right here on the YouTube channel as well as wherever you get your podcasts. For Rob Fisher, I'm Kurt Darling. You've been watching and listening to Inside Ball State Baseball on the Talk of Muncie at WMUN.
Yeah, that's just a 1-minute preview of the 30-minute show. Lots to talk about and much more from Coach Maloney, too, inside that program. 5 p.m. today and every Thursday, right after the Power Hour. That always is Mr. Mark Forster handling that one. Our studios are busy and humming. And yeah, you'll be able to watch the program, too, in Woof Boom Studio B, our video components enabled, and doing more great community work, in this particular case, lifting up Ball State athletics. And there's a lot to be excited about. There truly is. All right, before we get much further into the morning here, let's get a snapshot of our day today.
It's March 26th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. It's Epilepsy Awareness Day. This neurological condition affects nearly 50 million people worldwide, impacting the central nervous system, causing seizures and other symptoms. Epilepsy can affect anyone at any age and can be caused by brain injuries, genetics, immune disorders, infection, and in some cases, no cause can be found at all. However, epilepsy is a very treatable condition, and a range of options are available, from the use of medications to more invasive surgical surgical procedures. So remember, wear something purple to help bring awareness to and eliminate the stigma surrounding epilepsy. Also on this date, in 1953, Dr. Jonas Salk announced he had successfully tested a vaccine to prevent polio. Clinical trials in the life-saving drug would begin the following year. And in 2020, COVID-related job loss caused a record 3.3 million Americans to file for unemployment benefits, according to the Labor Department. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN, an affiliate of Fox News Radio, updates right around the top of the hour, every day, because news happens all the time. And yes, if you're a regular listener locally on the 92.5 FM or the streaming device of choice, you can get all of that always, not just this show, but all shows, including our Power Hour at 4 o'clock this afternoon that Mark Forrester does with all things sports. And then remember, right after that today is the debut of the weekly Thursday 5 p.m. show, This Week in Ball State Baseball. Another item that people are clearly talking about, the Save America Act's future. It's uncertain as Senate Republicans struggle to pass that.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Fox has been told for a while now that Senate Majority Leader John Thune will eventually make a motion and set up a process to terminate debate on the Save America Act. Yours truly pressed Thune on this issue. The South Dakota Republican didn't say he would try to halt debate, and he avoided directly answering the question. Sources close to Thune says he will likely do that to bring debate on the Save America Act to a close, and that will kill the bill. Why? Well, Thune's motion will be to end a Democratic filibuster on the bill. Ending the filibuster requires 60 yeas. Not only does Thune appear to lack the votes to pass the bill, but he certainly doesn't have 60 yeas to hurdle a filibuster and then pass the bill. This is why President Trump has called on Thune to eliminate the filibuster. But Thune also says he doesn't have the votes to do that either. All of this means is that the Save America Act is probably stuck and can't pass. After all, you have to have the votes to do things in Congress, and that does not appear to be the case with this bill. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
WMUN, always on weather watch for those that are watching the replay of the video on the YouTube channel, Wolf Boom Studio B. This is the post as of 8 a.m. today, March the 26th, 2026. A threat for severe thunderstorms today, and Paul Poteet has already been reporting on this. We are in Muncie, Indiana, level 3 threat level of 5. 5 being the highest level, 3, of course, in the middle. The low level 1 is the lowest possibility for strong to severe storms as far as southern Indiana. Then, as you can see, if you're watching the video on the YouTube channel a little further to the north, including Indianapolis, it looks like that includes the level 2. And then you get into the 3, the moderate, the highest local risk for today, especially tonight. And that includes the city of Muncie. In fact, that may even stretch into the Indianapolis Metroplex. Look at that map on the video screen and watch for updates, too, because the weather changes, obviously, a lot. We are certainly going to watch it closely for you. We'll break into programming as need be. Paul Poteet, our meteorologist on staff. Yours truly, Steve Lindell, will do the same thing to keep you safe and ahead of the storm. Next item this morning, those of you with Apple products, they want to make it easier for bosses to oversee their employees' work phones.
Fox on Tech. Your boss might get more control over your company iPhone. Apple announces this week a brand new platform that could impact your use of company-owned and distributed tech. You've probably been used to any company computers, smartphones, tablets, and other things being subjected to rules for use set forth by IT. They may even manage your user profile in a way that prohibits downloads and such. Now, the new Apple Business platform will give companies managed Apple accounts. Such a mechanism allows them better control of devices and apps which are meant for work purposes, while also integrating with favorite productivity software such as Microsoft and Google Workspace. Apple says it will allow for better employee management, arranging for people to digitally work more efficiently in groups or in other collaborations. Apple Business will be a free service, and it will debut this coming April. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Thank you, Eben. WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. Got a lot of talk going on. We got a lot of music, too. Many of our radio stations are very, very popular, and we're using our voice to build and connect our community on all of those from Woof Boom Radio. Coming up next, I'll tell you the story that really isn't much of a story because I don't know the end of it. How's that for a tease? We had a guest booked that we will not have on, and I'll tell you what I know in just a moment on Delaware County Today from WMUN.
Thinking about buying a used car? Get the facts before you make an offer or agree to buy. For free. The Indiana Secretary of State's office is helping to protect Hoosier consumers by offering free AutoCheck vehicle history reports. Access reports to check for accidents, true ownership, clear title, liens, odometer rollbacks, recalls, and more. Visit sos.in.gov for your free vehicle report. This message is sponsored by your Indiana Secretary of State.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Updates hourly on the Talk of Muncie, the new WMUN.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox and professional wrestling fans. The action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week. Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total nonstop action. See your favorite TNA wrestling stars like pro wrestling legends The Hardys and Nick Nemeth and rising star Leon Slater as they compete inside the ring for pride and glory and championship belts. Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
At DraftKings, we're all about responsible gaming. Sometimes you got to know when to hold up. There are no locks or sure things, so know when to fold up. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back. It's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, it's Cavino and Rich. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry, single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It gets a lot better thanks to the wet, extra-large cleaning power of Dude Wipes. They comfortably clean up whatever TP leaves behind for no more maintenance wipes. Make the trade of the season and switch from TP and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes. Best clean, pants down.
Live, weekdays from 8 to 9 a.m. with replays later. This is the Daily Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell.
I do have confirmation that Tom Campbell, who is just speaking there on our bumper, is indeed listening. Thank you, Tom. Tom, we're going to have to send you some more stuff pretty soon. We got to mention the Studio B way to consume us on YouTube. That's youtube.com. And then search for Woof Boom Studio B. Follow that channel. You can see a recent interview with a Newcastle resident that is a contestant on The Voice. You know, the Smell-O-Vision show? If she's still in it to win it. I haven't followed it closely since last week, but that's a big deal. And our Jared Boomer had that interview. She even performed, I think, a song or two that you may be hearing and seeing soon. Again, radio, the original social media, and now we have the video components built in here too, because we know that you need and you want to know various things in various ways. So we're trying to invest in our staff, in our ability, and in our ways to connect with you. Before the end of the show, remind me to talk about my wrist. What am I wearing on my wrist today? For those that are watching the video stream, you may have seen it flash into the screen. And have wondered, what's going on there? What is that all about? Well, you got to wait. All right, right about now, we were supposed to bring in this person as a guest. You know how television does it? When they have a story about somebody that is a sad story, they'll pull up a sad picture. When it's a happy story, they'll pull up a happy picture. In this particular one, and this is credited to the Capitol Chronicle, it's a 2024 picture of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz from the 5th District of the great state of Indiana. She was booked as a guest this morning at 8:30 a.m. Just yesterday, late in the day, I was told that by a handler, I call them handlers, that she had to cancel her appearance. And I wrote back, that is very unfortunate, because we appreciate the direct connection with her and so many other legislators. For your sake, as much as mine, as a person that lives in the 5th District, and we'll book her again. I'm sure everything is just fine, but again, when you pull up this picture, she looks, a little angry. They pulled up the angry face picture here, and I'm not sure that that's necessarily indicative of the situation or mood today, though Washington, D.C. has a tendency to make people feel like that sometimes, maybe more often than not. So there's what we can do with the video component of our Studio B from Wolf Boom Radio. When you see me looking off to the side like that, there is a wall of video screens. In fact, I probably could bring up the wide view right now, and you can see from the end of the room, sitting at the desk that is modular, we can bring in guest or guests. We can move these around for different configurations. That big wall of equipment that you can see has a whole bunch of computer monitors in it. And just on the other side of that is another wall of monitors. I love this. We love flashing lights and all kinds of video components. Then at the end of the room, flipping the camera around now, there's the humongous TV that I wish Nancy and I had in our house. It's huge. And that's me from, I don't know what day it was, wearing a different colored shirt, so I'm glad I mixed it up a little bit. And that's a replay of a previous show. All the shows, by the way, are on the YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel, Wolf Boom, Studio B. Wolf like the dog, boom like the firecracker, Studio B. You can figure that out. And you can replay those minutes and moments after the program is concluded every day. There's other content there, too. In fact, for instance, the show that will debut later on today at 5 p.m., This Week in Ball State Baseball, with Kurt Darling as the host, and the guests will be with him. That also will be a video component. The live audio, as recorded here in Wolf Boom Studio B, will debut at 5 p.m. Eastern Time here, right after the Power Hour on WMUN. Weather in focus is a clear indication of what it can do in the spring around here. We're going to get something like, let me see here, what's the temperature? Top temperature today, 82 degrees. And then a cold front comes through. Paul Poteet says there will be some heavy to strong storms, maybe severe. He says the best chance is after 6 p.m. and beyond. The National Weather Service says that those strong to possibly severe storms will include possibly large hail, damaging winds, the primary threats, and a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Localized heavy rain is also possible. They have asked for National Weather Service spotters. Those are the people that go outside, like Roger Overby and more. Hi, Roger. They have asked for them that they may need to be activated this evening into tonight to give the National Weather Service some eyes on weather. So be aware of that. If you ever wanted to be a spotter, by the way, they need help all the time. Particular counties in Indiana seem to have problems finding willing participants more often than not. Check with the National Weather Service for that. They also have severe weather preparedness training, and you can look at the National Weather Service page for that. A lot of those are virtual. I think some of those are in person, and some have both options. So the National Weather Service is where to get that. I don't have the URL in front of me, but if you search NWS, National Weather Service, like I do, quick little ticks with my fingers, you can find what we see oftentimes here on WMUN. Next item this morning, the U.S. economy. People are clearly talking about that. It still remains as top of mind for American voters.
Democracy 2026.
President Trump says the State of the Union is strong, but some voters tell me they're struggling financially. Others agree with the president.
At the grocery store, where we see all of these prices go up and up and up.
Eggs was a big issue, and that's down 60-something%.
According to our Fox News poll from late January, 19% of voters said President Trump should focus on the economy and jobs. President Trump told Americans his policies are already delivering relief. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, who delivered the Democratic response, disagrees, saying Americans cannot afford everyday items. In North Carolina, Republicans and Democrats are fighting for control over the Senate. One professor from Wake Forest University says it could go either way.
So even though Republicans in general have a slight advantage in North Carolina Senate elections, this year Democrats have about as strong of a possible candidate as they could in Roy Cooper.
President Trump is not on the ballot for the midterms, but Professor John Dinan says this election gives voters a chance to vote for or against his policies. Chelsea Torres, Fox News.
WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, the original frequency of all of our radio stations, 1340 AM. I think this year, 2026, is the 100th birthday of 1340 AM. How do you like them apples? I like them apples, Steve. Steve Lindell, host in Studio B for Wolf Boom Radio. This is a situation that is not in a commercial break right now, but I can tell you this is Delaware County Today. The reason I just specified like that is because I'm hitting buttons over here, and our video people, those watching the stream of visualizers on YouTube, they saw that we were in a commercial break for a second because my finger hit the wrong button instead of this one. There's Wolf Boom Studio B, the logo created by Sean Mattingly, our chief technologist, who may be listening right now. He's probably sleeping, though. We call Sean Batman, and the reason we do that is because, well, first of all, at one point he actually had a Batman logo, a little magnet that he stuck on the door of his vehicle. He may still have it. But the other part is that, much like Batman, he's up all night. Now, our Batman, Sean Mattingly, does not fight crime, to my knowledge. But I wouldn't be surprised, now that I say it out loud, but up all night and doing the work behind the scenes to make sure that all of these things that we have for you are working properly. I'm talking about microphones and computers and transmitters and everything in between. We appreciate his efforts, and Justin Peckinpah, too, another member of our technology team. We got a lot of tech to keep track of, and we appreciate them beyond explanation. All right, next item for this morning, Delaware County Today. The Justice Department leadership is taking direct control of the approval process to speed payouts.
Military Matters.
DOJ officials are accelerating payouts to victims and families of victims that suffered because of the toxins found in the water of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987. Federal investigators say the water was contaminated with parts of benzene, vinyl chloride, and other chemicals. Many people died over the years from various cancers and other neurological conditions. The situation did not become public until the late 1980s. In 2022, then-President Joe Biden signed a law making it easier for victims to seek compensation. Since February of this year, DOJ officials approved more than 680 settlement offers, totaling approximately $189 million. Overall, DOJ officials have approved more than 2,500 settlement offers through the program, totaling roughly $715 million. With Military Matters, David Spunt, Fox News.
And on WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, the talk radio of Muncie. I understand Mick Tidrow is in the house. Message received. He is the VOC on the WMUN and the BSU. Lots of letters. He's got the 9 a.m. program today and every Thursday morning this week in Ball State Athletics, and there has been a lot of doings and happenings that he'll have covered. In fact, in studio guests are planned today Jeff Mitchell, the athletic director from Ball State University, and Lauren Rhodes, who I believe was a large part of, the acquiring of that new basketball coach. Mick will get the inside story and scoop. It'll be live from 9 to 9:30 this morning on WMUN, our weekly program called This Week in Ball State Athletics. We have some more to cover this morning. We'll get to that in a moment if you just stay right where you are. Live from Studio B at Wolf Boom Radio, this is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Ivy Tech Community College and the Dr. Harry Brickley Farm Foundation have announced a $3.4 million gift to the school's Marion campus to support the nursing program there. The historic gift, the largest ever received by the Marion campus, will support the healthcare workforce pipeline in the Marion region, says Ivy Tech Marion Chancellor Alex Husky.
With there being a nursing shortage, and again, with there being us needing roughly 5,000 nurses by 2031, those individuals who are struggling the most with being able to pay for their college education will have an opportunity to have that education paid for. And of course, then it helps our healthcare and the communities we serve.
Ascend Indiana has announced the launch of a statewide initiative designed to help schools and employers develop work-based learning opportunities for high school students. Developed in partnership with the Indiana Department of Education, Ascend has compiled a set of resources to provide guidance and establish a network of partners that can coordinate work-based learning programs throughout the state on any potential impact on jobs the acquisition would have. Total Seed Production is a seed corn and soybean seed producer that also provides warehousing and distribution services. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
America last. It's what President Donald Trump said State Senator Travis Holdman did when Travis Holdman voted to let ChemChina own Hoosier farmland. That put Hoosiers at risk. And it certainly wasn't America first when Travis Holdman voted for higher gas taxes, or when Travis Holdman voted with Democrats to oppose President Trump's policy agenda by voting against him on congressional redistricting, potentially making it easier for liberal Democrats like AOC and Nancy Pelosi to be in charge. America First is about lower taxes and prosperity. Donald Trump has made Hoosier lives better. By voting against Trump's policies, liberal Travis Holdman made Hoosier lives worse. Call Travis Holdman at 317-232-9400. Tell him to stop putting China first. Support President Trump's policies instead. Paid for by Hoosier Leadership for America.
Listen to Delaware County Today on Alexa. Just enable the skill, then say, Alexa, play WMUN. Now back to Steve Lindell.
People are clearly talking about Travis Holdman. I honestly hadn't heard that name before we started hearing those announcements that you just heard a moment ago here on WMUN. Those are paid advertisements, but this is Travis Holdman. No, I'm not doxing anybody. It's free information on the State of Indiana website, and I just wondered who we were talking about there. So I'm just wondering. Yeah, I can't help it. I bring up the visuals in my head oftentimes when I hear all this radio stuff. And then I think, you know what? The internet's right at my fingertips. Why don't I just look for something? Plus, we're doing all the visual stuff here from Studio B. And, we want to fill all the gaps so you don't have to just stare at me for the entire hour. Steve Lindell, son of mom, listening in Minnesota. I'm going to talk about the Ball State football schedule in just a second. They're going to talk a lot more about it, potentially, in the 9 a.m. show. Mick Tidrow, voice of Cardinals, is the host of This Week in Ball State Athletics. And then later on this afternoon at 5 p.m., set an alarm and reminder on your phone, the debut of the brand new show, This Week in Ball State Baseball, hosted by Kurt Darling, the Wolf Boom sports director, right here from Wolf Boom's Studio B. All right, next item. We are asked today to wear a special color to raise awareness.
This is House Call for Health. Today is Purple Day, a day to raise awareness globally about epilepsy. It was started in 2008 by then 9-year-old Cassidy Megan from Nova Scotia, Canada, wanting a way to highlight the disease. Then in 2009, Purple Day went international with the support of the Anita Kaufman Foundation and Epilepsy Association of Nova Scotia. Epilepsy is a chronic neurological disease that results in recurrent, unprovoked seizures. The Epilepsy Foundation says there are a few ways you can get involved. First, wear purple today or decorate your home or workspace in the color. You can share your story with the epilepsy community online, support the cause and donate, volunteer or advocate, or there are seizure first aid training courses you can take. The National Institutes of Health says more than 50 million people around the world have epilepsy. You can get more information and resources online at epilepsy.com, or for more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
WMUN 92.5 FM, the radio station and group that has a meteorologist. His name is Paul Poteet. You're seeing him now in his cartoon mustache photo, as pulled down from the internet by Sean Mattingly. Easy for me to say. He will be reporting on serious information, the possibility of strong to severe storms in the Muncie area and east central Indiana, and the best chances, likelihood after 6 p.m. this evening. We'll be watching very closely and report as such. Next item, the Trump administration is offering introductory to artificial intelligence courses for the American workforce.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history.
Donald Trump's America.
One of the goals of the Make America AI Ready initiative is to make the technology less scary.
It's just the basics on how AI works, what it means to have the assistance with artificial intelligence at their fingertips.
Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer says courses will ensure all workers are learning foundational skills.
There are plenty of young men and women who are going into the workforce who are AI native, but certainly we want to reach all Americans who can be upskilled or reskilled, and AI is going to make a difference in that future workforce.
DeRemer says while AI will make work more efficient, the technology is not a jobs killer.
You know, automation was going to take over and there were going to be no jobs, and that's just simply not been the case.
The free AI literacy course is available by texting READY to 20202 at the White House. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
All right, thank you, Jared. We're going to get back to Bill Hemmer now and talk about part of the 250th birthday of America this week. Bill will talk about Woodstock.
I'm Bill Hemmer, and these are the most impactful moments in American history. It was the summer of 1969, and on a dairy farm in upstate New York, a sea of people gathered together for 3 days of peace and music. The Woodstock Music Art Fair was a miraculous success born out of chaos. The tiny town of Bethel had gotten ready for 50,000 attendees, but instead, they were greeted by 400,000 individuals from all over America. Independent artists like Carlos Santana became household names. Others like Janis Joplin, The Who, Jimi Hendrix, and the Grateful Dead cemented themselves as rock icons. The festival was a snapshot of the free-spirited optimism that captivated America's youth and proved that music can be a powerful vessel for change. For more, go to foxnewspodcast.com. I'm Bill Hemmer, Fox News.
Thank you, Bill. This is WMUN, an affiliate of Fox News Radio and the home of Ball State sports. Baseball this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got the live show in minutes with Mr. McTidrow right at 9 a.m., the Ball State baseball show at 5 this afternoon. Building towards the football season, which will begin at The Ohio State University, where 104,000 people in their stadium will welcome the Cardinals, and hopefully we will shock the world. I'm Steve Lindell, your host. For Jackson Jacoby, doing a great job producing in the Axia Command Center. We are in Studio B, and this is the Daily Delaware County Today on WMUN.